Okay, I'm going to start by just showing you how to get to the ad center to where you can create a campaign. I'm going to share my screen. So start by going to your Facebook page. This is the updated Facebook. I don't know if everyone's Facebook has been updated, but if it's not, or if it is, so you can go by going to Creator Studio on the left-hand corner, left-hand side. On the older version, it should be at the top somewhere. So for now, we're going to go to Creator Studio. And then over here, where it says Resources, go to Ads Manager. And you will see all of your ads, boosted ads, all your campaigns will show up here. So we're going to go and create. And the first thing you need to do before you start any of this is know your goal, so you can know what your campaign objective should be. There's a lot of options, which can be really overwhelming. But if you scroll over, it kind of shows you what each objective helps you do. So for this, we're going to go with traffic, because for my example, I'm saying that my church wants to promote a new women's virtual Bible study. And so we are trying to drive people to the church's website where they can learn more about the Bible study and register. So, and that's what traffic does. It helps to drive to a certain destination or website. Traffic. And then you always want to name your campaign something very specific. Each part of this needs to be named the same thing, so you can go back later on and look at it, or if you need to make edits or anything, it just keeps it more organized. So make sure you do that. So I'm just going to name this Women's Bible Study 2020. And then I'll copy that for each part of the campaign. And then I will continue. So here's the first part. You can just see all this. You can run an A/B test on some of it, which is if you want to run 2 different campaigns to see which one does better. I don't think it's necessary for right now, though. So we are going to go to the next step, which is where all of the information from the Executive Insight Report will be useful. So first of all, we know that we want to drive people to the website. We will scroll down. You want to enter a daily budget, and you want to make sure that you have an end date. I recommend not having too high of a budget. That is always something you can go in and change later on. So let's just say for this, I'm going to make it $7 a day. I don't think it's necessary to have a very large budget, especially for smaller areas that most churches are trying to reach to. Now, if you were reaching the whole country, $20 a day or a lot higher would be necessary, but not for this. So for an end date, I don't think you need to go any further more than a week out. At that point, most people in your audience that you are trying to target have seen it, have seen your ad, and at that point, they have started to ignore it because they've seen it so much. So we'll just say Tuesday, November 3rd. Another cool thing about this is you can choose to only run ads, which is not letting me right now, but you can only run ads for certain days or hours at a time. If you don't want to run your ads from, let's say, 11 p.m. to 8 a.m., if you don't think that your targets will be, or your target audience will be reached at that time, you can turn it off during that. Next, we are going to create an audience. So I'm going to, well, first of all, Facebook automatically chooses the United States as your location. So you want to change that. And I'm just going to choose a random location. I'm going to type in Bentonville. And it will pop up. And it will show me, so it automatically chooses 25-mile range. You can make that a larger range, up to 50 miles, not really necessary, or a smaller range. You can also target, if you know where certain people or where your target audience is more populated, you can drop a pin on those areas. Like say there's a large part of your audience is right here. You can drop a pin there. You can also make it bigger, smaller, and you can remove it. Oops. Back up. Just stay right there. Okay. Next, I'm going to choose my age range. So since for this, I'm trying to target women, primarily younger moms. So I'm going to make the age range about 25 to 40. And I'm going to make the gender women focus.
Okay. Could you tell me how why you've decided to target that age group for the ad, and how you connect that back to the MissionInsite report?
Yeah, absolutely. So mainly in this example, since the Bible study is women, it's going to be focused mostly on younger moms in the area. And I also know that, here, I'll pull up the report. Oh, I can't get this thing to go away. Sorry, guys. I'm having problems with this up here. How do I make this go away? Anyways, okay. So I know that the age range, primarily because of this executive insight report in this area, it has a high, or the average age is 34. So I want to make sure that I'm targeting people in that area. Does that make sense, Amy?
It totally does. And I would add, if there are any church leaders on here, to know that through this executive, this MissionInsite report, that should help you determine what ministries you want to offer. Of course, we all want to offer a Bible study for young moms. Every church wants to do that because we want young moms. But if we don't have the demographic of young moms, then maybe we need to offer a support study or whatever for the demographic that we do have. So that's another reason why this MissionInsite report is so important. But yes, thank you, Dave.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that MissionInsite, I just learned how to use MissionInsite, on Friday, and my mind is already blown. Like, I think that this is such an incredible resource for so many different things.
I just want to note as well that we are, again, only covering the Executive Insight report in today's webinar, but there are other reports that you can leverage, and some of which we will offer future more information on in the future. But if you have questions about using them today, again, feel free to contact us, and we'll be happy to walk you through some of the other reports if you have questions about those as well.
Okay. Thank you. Now, next I'm going to choose for detailed targeting. This is where it is very influential. So choose to edit, and you can choose so many different demographics, interests, behaviors. For this, there are a few I wrote down. So I want to target people who have shown interest in Bible study or religion, So this is kind of like people who have expressed an interest or liked pages related to Bible study. It could be so much as if they've liked a post from another church about a new Bible study coming up. So I'm choosing that one. Then I also want to include people who have expressed interest in families. If they have liked a post, a Facebook page, or showed interest in something relating to family. And I'm also going to browse over here and look at the demographics. Parents. So I want young parents or young moms. So I'm going to choose new parents, parents with early school age children, parents with preschoolers, and parents with preteens. It's also important to keep in mind while you're doing all of this, pay attention to your audience definition. It is Facebook's way of telling you if you're being too narrow in your audience or too broad. So I see in this right now, it's saying that I'm too broad, but I'm still in the green, so that's okay. Also over here, it will tell me how many people I could reach per day and how many link clicks I could get. This is just a guess, but since it is such a small area, I'm probably not going to get a whole lot of link clicks per day. I'm going to keep going and let's see. Another thing you can do is, so you can, Facebook automatically chooses where your ads are placed. on Instagram, Facebook, if it's in Instagram stories, if it shows up on their pages randomly, but you can choose that yourself too. And so I know we're not going over the, MissionInsite report today, but I do kind of want to show you something really cool on that. In the MissionInsite report, it shows you what part of your demographic uses what social media channels. So I see in this area that we're focusing on, they show me 18% of these people use Facebook, 8% use Instagram, and those are pretty big numbers. So I'm going to make sure that I include this in Facebook and in Instagram. So after that, I will click next. And so to create the ad, so I know I want to use one single image. Let's turn the preview on. I want to use a single image. Try to pull that up. And then go down here to where you can enter the text. So you want to keep the text short and sweet. Keep in mind it's something that people will probably scroll past pretty quickly. So you want to make sure that it's an eye-catching picture, and just something short that gives them all the information they need in order to learn, or makes them want to learn more too. So for this, I'm just going to have my primary text be something short, like join us virtually on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. for our women's Bible study. A headline. Well, hold on, let me add the picture first, sorry. All right, here's the image that I created for this ad. It kind of shows me all the different ways that it can be. I know I want it to be horizontal. So here it's showing me how this is going to look on Facebook. So I know I want to add a headline right here and something short, just a newsfeed link description. So for the headline, I'll make it simple, Women's Bible Study. And description, so up here it says, let's be real, maybe something like, let's be real, or mom needs a break, or something like that. Then you're going to include the website. Now, if it's not you want to include a direct link where you're going. So I would do like arumc.org, register. And then once I was done with all of it, which you can check and preview all of it over here, how it will look on Facebook, Instagram, InStream, which would pop up in a video, you would publish. So, and then afterwards, you can also track your performance. Once your ad is running, you'll be able to track your performance, edit your campaign in Ads Manager, and see if one version of your ad is doing better. And you can kind of switch out and target it in different areas and stuff like that to check.